Happy 15th of June to you. This is Wednesday, and we have a split MLB schedule today with 5 afternoon games and 10 night games. So you might be playing a little bit of both, just afternoon only, just evening only, maybe a combination of both. But good luck to all that do that, and hopefully I can help you out some. This is Mark from MLB DFS Weather.com. You can see here's my address right there. Every day I will post on here. On Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, you'll be asked to transfer to Daily Fantasy Cafe, where I have a partnership with them. And you'll be sent right to the forum where my analysis, my forecast for the day is up. Today is a very quiet day in terms of postponement and delays. Last night worked out pretty well. I was a little nervous about both Atlanta and Chicago. They both were able to play the full 9. Hopefully I steered you in the right direction. Some people said I steered them in the right direction with the wrong forecast because I was a little hesitant about Atlanta. There was a lot of thunderstorms around, and Mr. Julio Teheran didn't pitch that well, especially in the first inning. I believe he gave up a 3-run homer to Jay Bruce, and some people were scared off of him because of my forecast, and that worked out okay. Being right for the wrong reason is a good thing, I guess. Well, anyways, in terms of delays, not a heck of a lot going on. Here's the current radar in the Northeast. Just some showers around D.C. right now. But by this evening or afternoon there at 4 o'clock game, you can see that it's mainly quiet around D.C. So as long as these showers behave as expected, we should be able to get that game in with no problems. Then we have a couple evening games. Toronto at Philly. That's a 7 o'clock start or a 7:05 start. You can see some rain is approaching. From the west, this is an 8 p.m. simulated radar, but it's light, and it's not going to get there till well after the first pitch, or at least it's supposed to not get there till well after the first pitch. I'll watch that area, make sure that the timing is correct and also the intensity of the rain. And then we got Atlanta. This massive thunderstorm complex is forecast to be in northern Alabama, and it continues to show there. That's a nasty thunderstorm complex. In meteorological terms, that's a CCV, or it's basically a thunderstorm complex. We don't have to get too in-depth. And around it is very quiet. The thing I worry about that when I see something like that is the placement of that absolutely 100% written in stone. And the answer is no. If this thing were to shift a couple hundred miles to the east, then Atlanta's looking at a problem. I don't think that's happened. The best dynamics of the atmosphere are further west, so I think Atlanta's going to be okay. And what happens is on the north, south, east, and west side of that, basically everywhere around the thunderstorm complex, you got a lot of sinking motion. Sinking motion leads to dry air, or at least dry air at the surface, and that's why Atlanta's pretty darn quiet right there. One tiny shower on there that wouldn't be a problem. So I'm not thinking Atlanta's a big issue either. The big story today is warmth and how they favors hitting environments. St. Louis is in the 90s. Chicago will be near 90. Kansas City's in the 90s. Atlanta's in the 90s. At least to start all these games. So that's where we got a lot of greens here for air density. And oops, I got to fix that. I got greens for air density when it should be yellows for Los Angeles and Oakland. Green, low air density, that's good for hitters, so that's why we have these. And that's why I said that Colorado, Arizona, Washington, Philly, Atlanta, New York, St. Louis, Chicago, and Kansas City are all good hitting environments. First and foremost, none compare to Colorado. So if you're playing the afternoon game, it looks like it's 90 degrees in Colorado with a wind blowing out to the left. You really couldn't ask for a better situation for a hitter. The bad ones, and these ones are, some of them are marginal. New York and Washington is because there's a light wind blowing out. They really don't compare to Atlanta, St. Louis, Chicago, or Kansas City in terms of temperatures. The temperatures there are much warmer. Arizona, the roof will likely be closed. There was a surprise opening of the roof, at least in terms of me, last evening. Temperatures were well into the 90s, but I guess people are used to that kind of heat. Today, with it being a day game, temperatures are going to be in the low 100s. I will be pretty surprised that the roof is open today with temperatures in the hundreds. And Mr. Kershaw is pitching there today, so we'll see how he does in a generally a great hitting ballpark. And in my opinion, I don't think it really matters where Clayton pitches. I'm going to use him in Coors. I'll use him anywhere. It doesn't matter. That guy's having one of the best seasons that anyone has had in 15, 20 years, maybe longer. The last person I could remind me of is really Pedro of 99 and 2000. But I'm not paid for my baseball expertise. Let's go to the meteorology. And yeah, bad hitting environments. Tampa Bay is a dome. LA and Oakland are cool compared to everywhere else. So that's why I have them lower on the scale. That's really what I have for you today. I'll continue to watch these couple trouble spots. Again, like I said, there shouldn't be huge problems, but I'll continue and update throughout the day. You can follow me on Twitter at DF Cafe today, and I always link to my Twitter of MLB DFS Weather. And so MLB DFS Weather is my Twitter handle, and .com is the website. And both places will always send you to the correct place to find the forecast. Have a good one.